All right. So tonight is just me. Rob is working late, and I am trying to do a simulcast. I'm trying to stream this simultaneously to Sports Scrutiny Live's Facebook. So, all you Facebook watchers out there, I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can see me. All of our YouTubers, I hope you guys can hear me, and I hope you guys can see me. So please let me know otherwise. Um, got some cool things going on with Sports Scrutiny right now, guys. We're trying to, we are trying to change the flow of the show. We're trying to make our show better. We're trying to take it to the next level. Sports Scrutiny Live Phase 2. That's what me and Rob were talking about. So Rob is working late. He might be on in a little while. So if he comes on towards the end of the show, we will tell you guys what we've been planning all for you guys. But let's check this out. Can't hear you good. Hold on. Somebody said they can't hear me good. Can you guys not hear me good? I'm on Dan's TV. Hold on, guys. Someone said we can't hear. Let me know if you guys can hear me, okay? Because if you guys can't hear me, I have to work some magic to get you guys in there. So let me know, especially my YouTubers. YouTubers, let me know how you can hear me. But anyways, let's get this thing started. Let's see. What's up, Kyle? How you doing, man? All right, so this is what we got. UFC 222 is upon us. It is here. It is coming. It will be here this Saturday night. So you guys make sure, however you're going to watch the fights, make sure you guys are tuned in, because people were talking about this card and throwing away this card like it was no good. You know, let's see. Voice is cutting in and out. Robotic. Okay, hold on, Kyle. Let me fix it. Let me fix it. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix the audio. Everyone says my audio is terrible. Hold on, guys. Okay. What about now? Can you guys hear me now? Is it better? Tell me if you guys can hear me. What about now, Kyle? What about now? What about now? Okay, have a Jerry sound there. What about now, guys? How's the sound now? Let me know about the sound before we get into these. All right, thank you, Kyle. Much better. All right, let's go. So, UFC 222 is upon us, and it is one of the craziest cards that people will count out this card. But as time goes on, this card has gained a lot of traction. This card has gained a lot of attention. But we're going to go through the main card. I want to touch on the prelims just once. I want to talk about Mackenzie Dern. So Mackenzie Dern is a huge prospect coming out of Invicta. She's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist. A lot of people, when they talk about Mackenzie Dern, they talk about how her accent has changed. But to be honest, Mackenzie Dern is a Brazilian American. So she was born in America, but she does have a Brazilian parent. So over the years, I watched a video today. Over the years, as Mackenzie Dern has evolved, as the years have progressed, she has developed a Brazilian accent slightly. So that's kind of what everybody's talking about. But Mackenzie Dern is unbeaten. I mean, she's on a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On professional, she's on a 5-fight MMA. What about now, Dano? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. She's on a 5-fight win streak. She's got wins over Kenya Roses. She's got wins over Catherine Roy, Mandy Polk, Kaleem Medeiros via submission. She beat Mandy Polk, submission, rear naked choke. Catherine Roy, she won a unanimous decision. And Montana Stewart, submission. And Montana Stewart, now Montana De La Rosa, just competed on the Ultimate Fighter and is a submission specialist herself. So for her to have beat someone like Montana De La Rosa, that's pretty impressive. So Mackenzie Dern is making her UFC debut against Ashley Yoder, and she is the favorite over Ashley Yoder. Ashley Yoder's a big girl. She's a tall girl for that weight class, for that strawweight weight class. But that's going to be a really good fight, and I'm excited to see if Mackenzie Dern uses her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills against someone like Ashley Yoder. Ashley Yoder's no slouch, though, so we just have to see how it goes. Audio check, guys. How's everything sounding? How's the audio? Doing better? Okay. All right. Anyways, all right. So now I'm going to go on to, let's see. Let's look at this main card, guys. Let's see what we're working with on this main card. Anyways, yeah, so UFC 222 is starting off with Ketlin Vieira on the main card versus the return of Alpha Cat Zingano. So this fight right here is one that I'm really excited about because I'm a Cat Zingano fan. I like Cat Zingano. She's a ferocious type of fighter, especially when you've seen, like, when she fought Miesha Tate. She just overwhelmed someone like Miesha Tate. Like, Miesha Tate doesn't have the best stand-up, but Miesha Tate is known for giving everything she's got during a fight. And she gave Kat everything she had. Kat's just, her wrestling's really, really good. She's a wrestling standout. She's had a long layoff. She was dealing with some injuries, and then she had some personal issues, some deaths in her family, some things going on, and she's been chomping at the bit to get back in the octagon. She wanted to fight Chris Cyborg, but you know, I guess they didn't want to see Kat get, you know, throw her to the wolves as soon as she comes back to the UFC. So you got Kat coming back again. Ketlin Vieira is coming off of a win against who did she fight? She's coming off a win against Sarah McMahon, and I mean, a lot of people are saying are favoriting they're favoriting Ketlin Vieira. I don't, because I think Kat's potentially. Don't know how certain that is, or I don't know how certain it's going to be that they get a title shot, but we will see. Let's see. Let's look at the live chat. Will Ronda beat Stephanie McMahon? Dan, I don't know, man. I don't know. That should be an interesting fight, an interesting battle of technique and whatever. You know, I mean, no, I mean, that's fake stuff. You know, I see why Ronda Rousey went to the WWE. It's for about money. She ain't made no money. Travis Brown ain't winning no fights. So Ronda Rousey got to make a check. You know, Travis Brown was, you know, him and Ronda Rousey was supposed to be like the new hottest couple in MMA, and that just did not happen. Travis lost first, and then Ronda started losing. So I don't know, man. I don't think that's something I would watch. I probably would pay attention to what's going on only because it's Ronda Rousey, just to kind of see what it is. Current champion, Amanda Nunes. So that's a big thing. Like that's kind of why if Cat gets the win, thrown right in the title contention, even though therefore, uh-oh, hold on, guys. My simulcast to Facebook just died on me. I'm gonna try it again. But anyways, that could throw Cat right back into title contention. I see Cat possibly winning this fight by submission, either
what happened. I don't know what happened. I just had to reboot the whole thing. I don't know what happened, but it didn't take us off alive. So I'm back though. Thank you guys for coming back, for staying with us. I don't know, like I said, y'all, I don't know what just happened. I don't know why it went off. Um, I forgot what I was talking about. So you guys are definitely gonna have to and you are on my TV. I don't know, Dano. Maybe you uh casted it to the TV or something. I don't know, man. Um, but anyways, forgot where I left off. Somebody tell me where I left off. Oh, Kat Zingano. So Kat could fight Amanda Nunes next for the title if Rocky Pennington, who is technically next in line, but she was out for an injury. If she comes back, if she's back in time to come back and fight, then I'm pretty sure um, she'll be fighting Amanda Nunes. She was able to absorb the punches from Amanda Nunes and keep on rolling, which was very impressive. We haven't seen anyone do that. When Amanda Nunes hits somebody, I mean, they go. And she battered Kat up pretty bad. Like she straight up battered Kat Zingano up pretty bad in that fight. So just kind of going off of that. Sorry guys, sorry to all my Facebook people. The Facebook simulcast is back up and running. I'm sorry guys. So anyways, Catherine Garno will get the submission end of second round, beginning the third round. That's what I'm going with. That's what I believe is going to happen. So yeah. Then next up on the card, I believe, is a heavyweight fight, and that is against Andre Arlovsky versus Stefan Struve. Now, I mean, when I would see, I see Stefan Struve winning that fight. He's kind of been on like a downward spiral. He's trying to regain that back. I would really say Stefan Struve would win that fight. I don't really know. I don't really know because Andre Arlovsky, he can fight. I mean, he can make a comeback. He's known for that. He could definitely jump back in the fight. But I see Stefan Struve with that length and that reach. And even though he's long and lanky, he's got a lot of power. So, heavyweight fights usually don't last very long. So I see this fight not making it out of the first round. I don't think we'll see anything like Stipe and Francis Ngannou going 5 rounds. I don't see that. I see someone get knocked out. Stefan Struve, I've seen Stefan Struve get knocked out, and I've seen Stefan Struve knock somebody out. So my pick would be Stefan Struve. And the next up on the card, we have Sean O'Malley versus Andres. I'm not even going to try to say his name. How about that? I'm not even going to try to say his name, but his name is Andre. Um, Sean O'Malley is the winner of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, which is kind of like a shortened Ultimate Fighter. It's like a live show that they do where they find fighters and they get a contract with the UFC. I see Sean O'Malley. He's a knockout artist. He's a little bantamweight. He's a knockout artist. He throws wild. He's like a little white John Jones. That's how I see him when he fights. Like his style of fighting to me is kind of like John Jones. He utilizes his reach very well. His ground game is up to par. It's very, very nice. He's a newcomer, so I really see him beating Andre. I like Sean O'Malley. I'm a fan of Sean O'Malley. You guys know once I'm a fan, I ride with that person all the way to the end. So I pick Sean O'Malley. I would like to see Sean O'Malley fight. If he wins this fight, I could see Sean O'Malley fighting somebody in the top 10. I'd like to see him against maybe like someone like TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt, just to kind of see how he holds up to top level competition, which is something that he hasn't faced yet. He hasn't faced beasts like that. So I'd like to see what Sean O'Malley can do, how he could prove himself. in a tough fight. His last fight was really, really good. I forgot who he was against, but it was a really, really good fight. And he won that fight. So I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, MMA fans, definitely correct me. I think he's 1-0 in the UFC, but I think he's got some record. I'll be on the show now. I'll watch some good work. Yeah, Rob, we know, man. I told everybody that you're working late tonight, man. It's all good. I'll hold it down for Sports Scrutiny, no problem. The next on the card we have, now we're getting to the juice. We get into the real, Cat Zingano with some juice, but now we get into some real juice. We have Frankie Edgar versus Brian Ortega. Now, T-City Ortega is stepping in because the title fight with Frankie Edgar and Max Holloway definitely got canceled due to injury. Max Holloway hurt his ankle, his leg, or foot, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but an injury that he's dealing with, so he had to pull out of the competition. So, one of the hottest prospects in the featherweight division, proudly stepped up and took the opportunity to fight someone like Frankie Edgar. Now, to me, I think this is the hardest challenge that some like Brian Ortega has to take, because a brawler like Frankie Edgar is something that I don't think that T-City is. I think he's ready for it, but I don't think he's experienced somebody like Frankie Edgar. So that's going to be interesting to see how he deals with that. I'm getting text messages, y'all. I'm sorry. Yes, Joey, I saw that. Yeah, so someone like T-City Ortega, he's really good jiu-jitsu specialist. He trains at Gracie. He trains Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, so he's good at gi and no gi. He's really, really good. I like his style. But Frankie Edgar is a very aggressive type of fighter. He's going to push the envelope. He's going to push the pressure. He's going to try and knock T-City out. And I think he's going to try to knock T-City out because if you go back and watch his fights, especially like I think he fought Cub Swanson, if I'm not mistaken. Especially when he fought Clay Guida. He doesn't protect his face very much, and I think that could be like a problem with T-City. He gets hit a lot, like he absorbs a lot of punches, and I think it was Cub Swanson. If he can hide his chin a little bit better and not leave himself so exposed, because somebody like Brian Ortega is, like I said, a jiu-jitsu specialist. He's going to be looking for Frankie Edgar is going to be Brian Ortega is going to be looking for the takedown. So I think he focuses on that sometimes, and he leaves himself open to get hit. So I think he should definitely guard his face a little bit more, keep his hands up, because Frankie Edgar is going to come at him like a storm. I mean, really, he is. He's going to come like a storm at Brian Ortega, which could be a blessing or a curse for him, because if he comes in too hard, then Brian Ortega is definitely going to see the opening for the submission. He has a really good guard. He has a really good standing guard. He can pull guard standing up. He has a really good guillotine, a standing guillotine. So you just have to kind of be careful with a sneaky fighter like Brian Ortega. But on the flip side, you also have to be pretty careful of a fighter like Frankie Edgar too. You know what I'm saying? Because Frankie Edgar, he's been in wars, and somebody like that. And this was supposed to be his exit fight. I think he had said that once when it was still on with him and Max Holloway, that this was supposed to be his exit fight. Like he may contemplate retirement after this. But now he's not saying that. And of course, all the media is asking him, um, is, they're asking him, what do you plan on doing after you fight Brian Ortega, win or lose? And he still wants the title shot. Like, Frankie Edgar is the former champion, and he wants the belt back. So I think that Brian Ortega's definitely got a fight on his hands. He's going to really have to be careful. He's really going to have to stick to his game plan. I'm pretty sure his coaches have come up with a really, really good game plan for him to fight somebody, to fight a jiu-jitsu specialist like Brian Ortega, in the short amount of time that he was fighting Brian Ortega. Because, like I said, this is a short notice. This is a short notice thing for Frankie Edgar. I mean, for Brian Ortega. So, and it's a short notice thing for Frankie Edgar too, with such a switch of opponents that is so much different than what he had been planning for. This whole fight camp. This whole fight camp, when you're training to fight one fighter, and then when it gets down to the end, you're having to fight another fighter. I mean, that could kind of rock your psyche a little bit. I'm pretty sure it could, because now he's going to be training mostly ground game in jiu-jitsu, and which that pretty sure he wasn't training as hard against Max Holloway. Max Holloway tends to keep it on the feet. He likes to keep it on the feet, but he's coming off of a 2-win streak, 2-fight win streak. Once over Frankie Eggers, once over Jeremy Stevens. He beat Jeremy Stevens at UFC 205. He beat Yair Rodriguez at UFC 211. He lost to Jose Aldo. He lost the belt. I mean, he lost the fight to Jose Aldo, which, I mean, it's Jose Aldo. I mean, come on. He beat Chad Mendez. He beat Uriah Faber. He beat Cub Swanson. So he's got a so he actually lost twice to Jose Aldo and lost twice to Benson Henderson. He lost 3 in a row, twice to Benson Henderson, and right after that to Jose Aldo the first time. So anyway, he's got a draw with Gray Maynard. They rematched and he won. He's got a win over B. He got 2 wins. God, he got a lot of double fights in his resume. 2 wins over BJ Penn. He's got a win over Matt Veach, Sean Shirk, Hermes Franca. There's another Gray Maynard fight. I mean, he's fought Gray Maynard 3 times. Spencer Fisher, I hadn't heard that name in a while. Tyson Griffin, Jim Miller. Stephen McCabe, Mark Ghetto. I mean, he's got a lot of fights, a lot of wins on his record. So, don't sleep on Frankie Edgar, which I do see Brian Ortega winning by submission. I don't know what round, but I do see Brian Ortega winning via submission. So that's going to be interesting as well to see. And what's interesting as well will be what would be next for Brian Ortega. Would Brian Ortega get a title shot, or would he have to fight somebody else? I don't think that he'd have to fight any. I mean, he's proven himself over and over and over again, keeping his record undefeated. Let's see. Live chat, Reggie the Tree, Edgar, an all-time great. 2 quarters into the second round, Ortega might be asleep. No disrespect to him. And Reggie, I don't dispute you on that. Not at all, because I can definitely see the fight going that way. And the reason I say that is because, like I said just a minute ago, Brian Ortega leaves his chin open to get hit a lot, and he absorbs a lot more shots than what he should. And if he wants to keep that glass chin, then he's got to do better as far as guarding his face and keeping his guard up and making sure he's not getting hit too much, because he gets hit a lot. Cub Swanson hit him with stuff that should have knocked. Cub Swanson hit Ortega with shots that should have knocked him out. And it didn't knock him out. So that's kind of the thing. Like, if he has a really good chin, and if he wants that chin, then he would start guarding that chin. That's how I see it. Because he's been hit a lot, and Edgar definitely has the potential to beat. So he has the potential to finish the fight. So either one of them, they're both finishers in 2 different ways, I think, but they're both finishers. Ortega could win by submission. You guys let me know if Ortega wins by submission, what round do you guys think Ortega will win by via submission in? So y'all let me know. But Frankie Edgar could knock him out or submit him, but I think the chances of him knocking him out are much greater than his chances of submitting somebody like Brian Ortega. So, it can go either way, guys. That fight's kind of tossed up in the air. Like I said, I'm curious to see what happens to these guys afterwards. Sean Shelby put some good fights in front of these guys, especially the winner. I mean, who wouldn't? MMA fans out there, who wouldn't want to see Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway? That would just be a fight for that'd be a fan favorite fight. Because now, these little promo vids are coming out, promo videos with Brian Ortega. He's got these little specials all over YouTube, all over UFC's YouTube, UFC's social media. So they're hyping him up, just like they're hyping up Mackenzie Dern. And that's the thing about Mackenzie Dern. I like Mackenzie Dern, but when the UFC hypes up these certain people, it's kind of a curse. When they hype up these fighters that they think are going to be great, they usually fall flat. Look at Ronda Rousey. Well, Ronda Rousey really didn't have much more to prove. I mean, she had beat pretty much everybody, so can't really throw Ronda Rousey in this thing too. But look at John Jones. John Jones is a royal fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Royally. I'm gonna talk about that too. Y'all remind me to touch on that because I got some things I want to say about that. And then you got Paige Van Zandt, who they just thought Paige Van Zandt was just gonna look her way into the belt. You know what I'm saying? They thought, oh, Paige Van Zandt is the new hottest thing. She's hot. Like she's a hot girl, so she's automatically gonna win the belt. No, she got into the octagon and got that ass beat. Jesse Rose Clark just beat her, broke her arm. She broke her arm fighting Jesse Rose Clark. So, maybe she'll do better in this flyweight division. Then you got people like Super Sage Northcutt. I like Sage. Sage just came off of an impressive win, but Sage Northcutt, and they're still trying to hype up Sage Northcutt. They got Sage Northcutt they feeding him, you know what I'm saying? They want him to be the greatest. Let's see, Reggie wins by submission. I think it will be in the third round. It might be easier with Frankie being more tired and reckless in later rounds. Yes, Frankie Edgar does have the tendency to get a little sloppy in the later rounds, especially if he feels like he's down. He starts to get a little desperate. He starts to wing it a little bit more, and if he starts winging it, man, I can see that being very similar to Holly Holm, Miesha Tate. If he starts getting a little reckless with the striking, I think he'll open himself up for Ortega to take him down, and boom, there's your submission right there. And I can see that, he's a little exhausted. He knows he's exhausted. He's trying to finish the fight. He's trying to get Brian Ortega out of there. I could definitely see that happening. Good one, Reggie the Tree. I really like that comment because that is awesome. Thanks a lot, Reggie. I'm glad you put that out there. But let me ask you this, Reggie, since you pretty active in the live chat, how do you see? Let's see. How do you if Frankie wins? How do you see Frankie winning? That's the big thing. But I'm gonna touch on this John Jones thing real quick. So we all know John Jones's trial with USADA with this commission came up about his anti-doping thing violation that he did. That he got caught doing, and they suspended his license. I think doesn't mean he can't fight. There's 50 states in the United States. California revoked his license. So what? But once again, you guys know I love Miesha Tate, but once again, the scrutiny of Miesha Tate rains down once more on John Jones. And Miesha Tate goes, if you guys have not seen it, okay. If you guys have not seen that, please go look at it. Go on YouTube and type in Miesha Tate goes off on John Jones. So Miesha, of course, pregnant, not fighting, retired, talks about how she's so done with investing her feelings, into John Jones, hoping that he gets better, hoping that he comes back, hoping that he wins. But with this one time, I really do have to agree with Misha Tate, the person. It kind of gets exhausting. I've never really been a John Jones fan, but as a man, you want to see, especially a black man, I want to see him do well in the sport that he's in. But it gets exhausting when over and over and over and over and over you get caught for the same thing over and over. So they build up all this hype around John Jones, and then he does it again, and they've done this numerous times. He's done it numerous times. It's not like it's something that just happened. I mean, this is the third or fourth time he's been in trouble with USADA in the commission. So this one time I do agree with Misha Tate, so hopefully John Jones can get his act together. I don't think DC will be fighting by the time John Jones is clear to fight. I don't think DC will be in the picture anymore. I think DC he'll fight Stipe if he wins. I don't think he'll defend either belt. I think he'll give up one, if not both of the belts. I mean, he's approaching 40. It's hard for him to make that light heavyweight limit. And speaking of that, Ilir Latifi won his fight the other night and called out Daniel Cormier and said that he would fight Daniel Cormier at heavyweight. I think Ilir Latifi's got a little way to go before he starts calling out the champion, but two short guys, similar reach, similar power. I think that DC would have the advantage in wrestling. But that should be a good fight. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We are talking about UFC 222. On to the main event. Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya. Oh my gosh. I have been watching so much documentaries and footage and interviews with these two ladies. My initial thoughts was when I first heard, I really honestly thought that it would, I thought I would see Cyborg versus Leah Letson before I seen Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya. Like, it's not that I wanted to see Letson versus Cyborg. Number one, if Frankie wins, I see him win a second round knockout. Punches and bunches against the cage with skill and anger because he's really won at max. Yes, Reggie, that would exactly be the, I don't know about against the fence, but I would see him winning via TKO if he wins against Brian Ortega. It would be by TKO. But Reggie, chime in on what we're talking about. It's not that I didn't want to see Leah Letson fight somebody like Cyborg, because I really don't want to see Leah Letson fight Cyborg right away. I just thought maybe, just when you hear Yana Kunitskaya versus Cyborg, my initial thoughts were, why would they put Yana Kunitskaya in the ring with Cyborg? Why wouldn't they just call Megan Anderson or call somebody, Amanda Nunes or Kaz Zingano or somebody, It was just kind of like, wow, Yana Kunitskaya, like they, at least they're trying to build this division. I give Sean Shelby, I give the UFC kudos for that. They're trying to build this featherweight division. They signed Cindy Dandowa, they signed Leah Letson, they're signing Yana Kunitskaya, they're signing girls to this featherweight division. So I'm happy with that. And initially I'm thinking Cyborg is just going to get in there and she's going to beat Kunitskaya down. But this is a big, juicy but. Kunitskaya, if you look at her training footage and look at some of her fights, I see ways that Kunitskaya could win. And I've been catching a lot of flack. I comment on a YouTube video and say this, or I comment on I even had Leah Letson laugh at Sports Scrutiny Live. She laughed at me for saying that I think Cyborg has a chance. I wanted Kat or Letson to fight her as well. Yeah, man. Leah Letson wrote me and was like, what are you thinking? Like, but I just see, okay, Cyborg is a very heavy presence. Like she's very heavy pressure fighter. You know, so when Cyborg steps in the cage with you, she's closing the distance one way or another. Either she's going to come straight at you or she's going to cut off the octagon to get to you. One way or another, she's going to get to you. But when you look at Yana Kunitskaya, look at her resume. She out-grappled Tanya Evinger in the no contest. Even though it was a no contest, doesn't change the fact that she out-grappled Yana Kunitskaya at a disadvantage. I mean, she out-grappled Tanya Evinger. Love you, Tanya. Don't be mad at what I'm saying. We love you over here at Sports Scrutiny. But Cyborg's going to come at you full on. She's going to throw things at you. And what may work in Yana's advantage is Cyborg's not really going to be thinking a lot of Yana Kunitskaya. So that gives Yana like the edge, I think. Maybe it's just because I like to root for the underdog, but I really see this stuff in my head, y'all. I think it would give Yana the opening, especially if Cyborg gets wild. Yana has really good takedowns. But Cyborg has really good takedown defense, true. But if Yana can get Cyborg to start going wild, I think Yana could get the takedown. And if Yana gets the takedown, I mean, we've seen things happen to Cyborg that hadn't happened to her a lot. She just went 5 rounds with Holly Holm. That's enough right there, to show that the competition that's coming against her is watching her and getting better with her. So the Holly fight went 5 rounds, which is a first in Cyborg's career. I think if Yana got the takedown and if Yana played her cards right on the ground, you know what I'm saying, she could possibly, if she uses her technique, because technique beats strength. That's what all you UFC fighters say. Technique beats strength. If Yana uses the correct technique, if she was able to get Cyborg down, then we may see the fight go in a different direction. We knew Holly was not going to try and get Cyborg to the ground. I mean, Cyborg's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So we know we're not going to see, we knew we weren't going to see any ground on that. A lot of good clinch work, though. But another thing that works in Yana's favor is Yana trains at the Jackson Wink Academy where Holly trains. So she's got Holly in her ear, someone who just went 5 hard, bloody rounds with Cyborg. So she's got Holly in her ear, helping her out, sparring with her, telling her things that are going on, that went on while she fought. And of course, I'm pretty sure they were watching a lot of footage on that fight. And Yana Kunitskaya's striking is not subpar. I mean, it's good strike. She has good striking. And another thing is her kicks. Now, I haven't really seen anyone swarm Cyborg. And I think that we're going to see Yana try to swarm her, because one thing I've noticed with Yana, looking back at some of her fights, is that if her opponent lets her, she will swarm them with punches and bunches. And Yana's a big girl. Yana's not a small girl. Pictures can be very deceiving, but if you go look at the Embedded series, my UFC fans know exactly what that is. If you go look at the Embedded series, Yana is a big girl. And it's, and Coach Selton Harrison is another podcaster. You guys go subscribe to his channel, Coach Selton Harrison. He digs a whole lot deeper into this stuff than I do. But Coach pointed out to me that Yana is really a big girl. So then I go back and look at, really pay attention to Yana. And I look at her frame and her body. She's a big, strong girl. And she's been squeezing herself into 135 because that's the more popular class, especially a fast track to get into the UFC if you're fighting in a weight class that the UFC has. It's hard, and she's an overwhelming. The odds are just overwhelming. They're the most. I think they have the record for the most gap in the odds. On this fight, and it's like over 1,000. Yano's like a plus 1,000 in the odds. That's like a way, way, way underdog. And I see Yana utilizing her kicks, especially the push kick and the body kick to kind of wear Cyborg down. I think Cyborg will try to rush Yana and try to overwhelm her, and therefore we can see Yana utilize her takedown or her striking. She may decide to go toe to toe with Cyborg. Now, how Cyborg will handle how Yana will handle Cyborg's power, that is up for discussion. I have no idea how that would go. I don't know how she would react if she got hit by Cyborg. Um, let's see. Great points, brother. But what do you think about the reality of getting hit hard, like Tyson used to say, paraphrasing? Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face. Is that a factor? Yes. That's what I was just talking about. I don't know how Yana is going to react because Cyborg, I mean, she's going to land a punch. You know, she's going to land a punch, period. So if it all depends on how flush of hits that Cyborg's able to land. Because Yana's not slow. I mean, she's quick. She's got great movement, great footwork. Head movement could be a little bit more. She's going to need to work on the head movement a little bit more. But that's the biggest factor that I see going on. But because the thing with Holly that's different than with Yana is there's not a lot of power behind the punches that Holly throws. Holly throws a lot of straight lefts, and her straight left is great, but her straight left is great against bantamweights. And someone like Cyborg needs to be hit, and I really think that Yana hits harder than Cyborg. Now, Tanya Evinger, I think I talked about this already. Tanya Evinger said that she doesn't believe at all that Yana could beat Cyborg, and she's fought them both. Tanya's fought both of them. So it's really, we're just going to have to watch it and see how it plays out, guys. I mean, I've been wrong so many times before when it comes to these predicting these fights. I've been wrong. I just go with what my gut tells me, and my gut tells me that Yana could pull this thing off. If you watch her demeanor, she's not fazed by the fact that she's fighting Cyborg. She knows, especially someone like Yana who's fought at both weight classes before even being in the UFC. She's got like 6 or 8 fights at featherweight and fights at bantamweight. It wasn't a shocker to me. It was a shock when they told me they signed her, but it wasn't a shock when they said that you're going to have to move up to featherweight, and she accepted that. So in Yana's mind, she knows that there's not really a weight class right now in the 145-pound division. She knew that. So she accepted it, and she knew that it was inevitable that she was going to have to fight Cyborg. And I think today on Embedded, she said that she had been offered a Cyborg fight back in Invicta, and it just didn't happen. But Yana knew that she was going to have to fight Cyborg when she signed the contract for the 145-pound division. So to me, I think that she's prepared, and she's been ready, like everybody else that's stepped in the cage with Cyborg. There's no difference with Yana. She's trained and she's ready. Let's see. Would it be a huge upset in your opinion? She beat Cyborg. Yes, it would be a very huge upset. In the UFC world, probably not so much because Cyborg's fairly new to the UFC. But in the MMA world as a whole, especially in women's MMA, it will be a huge upset. Someone that hadn't been beat since 2005. I mean, Jarena Bars is the last person to beat Cyborg, and that was in Cyborg's MMA debut, and she hadn't been beat since. And it took a big girl like Jarena Bars to beat somebody like Cyborg, and key was the kicks, and I thought I would have seen what let me down about Holly was I felt like Holly didn't use the kicks enough. There was one point where Cyborg had fell where Holly kind of hesitated. She threw the kick, but it was a very hesitated kick, and with me, I don't think Yana knowing what kind of situation that she's going to be in, Yana's not going to hold back if she sees that opening. I think if Cyborg somehow gives an opening to Yana Kunitskaya, I feel like Yana's going to latch onto her, and whatever it is, Yana's going to go full-fledged at it, whether she gets knocked out or whatever. I think for her, the chips are down. She's just going to go at it. If she's down and she sees that opening, she's going to go for it. I don't knock out. I don't see it happening because now she knows the blueprint, especially training with Holly Holm. Um, she knows how to stay away from Cyborg, and she knows what to do. Really is really not letting her cut the cage off. So she's really going to have to. I hope she's really sharp on her striking, because she's going if she doesn't let Cyborg cut off the cage, and she doesn't let Cyborg, if she doesn't take it to the ground, she's going to have to strike with Cyborg. So I really think that Yana. I really hope that she's crisp up on her striking. Um, so we shall see. What do you guys think? I mean, do you guys think I'm crazy for? Uh, do you guys think I'm crazy for saying that I think Yana might win? I don't think I'm crazy. Let's see. Jarena threw them knees too. Yes, Reggie, she did. And Jarena Jojo Bars is a huge girl. Like, she's a big woman. You know, she's a really, 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 really big woman. So, let me see. Let me see. Finish. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Um, is a big woman, and it took big, powerful kicks and knees and punches to wean down somebody like Cyborg. And that's exactly what JoJo Bars did. Now, the people who fought her after JoJo didn't take that blueprint and use it, but Holly kind of exposed, how to avoid getting knocked out by Cyborg. So if she exposed that, then and Yana uses that, because Yana's got a little bit more power than Holly, as far as her punches. But if she uses that and picks her shots and gets the takedown and stays on top, Tanya Evinger was able to take down Cyborg, but she just wasn't able to hold Cyborg down. So if Yana can keep Cyborg down, then I think I see the wave of this fight shifting. I see it shifting. So you heard it from me. You guys heard it from me first. I'm saying that I think that Yana Kunitskaya can pull off the upset. I'm a fan of Yana Kunitskaya. I've watched her fights. I've been studying her film for the past few days. She has a tendency to Holly footwork saved her. Does Yana have that? Reggie, I don't think that Yana's footwork is quite as good as Cyborg's. If you go back and look at her fight, what Yana does, Holly kind of makes her own pace in a fight. Whether you're on her pace or not, she has her own pace, and I think Yana tends to fight at her. She tends to fight at her opponent's pace, whether it's slow, whether it's fast, whatever. She tends to fight at her opponent's pace, and this pace is going to be amped up. This pace is Cyborg's going to keep the pace, going to keep the pressure coming straight for Yana, and Yana just going to have to figure out the puzzle on how to avoid the big shots. She's going to figure out. She has to figure out how to get Cyborg down, and if she does that, then she may win this fight. I see, and then next up, whoever wins, like I said last week, I believe that if Yana Kunitskaya wins this fight, then you will see Megan Runderson come out of the woodworks. I mean, excuse me, Megan Anderson. I'm sorry, guys. You would see Megan Anderson come out of the woodwork. Oh, Yana, I want to fight you. So that'll be interesting if she wins. But I think even if Cyborg wins, I think Megan doesn't have a choice now but to come out of the woodworks. She would have no choice but to come out. I mean, there's nobody left. I would like to see. You keep forgetting you got Leah Letson thrown up in the mix now. I believe that. Reggie, what do you believe? I kind of forgot what I said. What did I say? Oh yeah, about the pace. Yeah, about the pacing in the fight. I think Yana will keep the pace with Cyborg. I think she will, man. I think she'll keep the pace. Yana's a very smart fighter. She's a very smart fighter, guys. And the casuals out there, and Reggie, you're not a casual. Okay, I'm not a casual. I'm a true fan. I'm not a bandwagoner. I'm not a casual. Um, like I'm a diehard fan of MMA. So I mean, the casual fans are going to say, "Oh, there's no way this unknown." They saying that because they don't know who Yana Kunitskaya is. They don't know who she is. So of course, when they hear an unknown name, people didn't know who Misha Tate was either. You know, until her name got mixed up with Ronda Rousey, and now everybody knows who Misha Tate is. So I just see, maybe Yana can pull off the upset, and if she does, then I'll be right. It is what it is. But guys, that's really all I got for tonight. Ain't got much. Just wanted to come in and give my thoughts on UFC. Me too, die hard for sure. Yes, sir, Reggie. You better believe it. Hey, Reggie, sometimes you need to come live with us, man. Talk to us a little bit. Um, Go live with us. But that's all I got, guys. Just wanted to get on and talk about UFC 222. You guys heard my predictions. I see Mackenzie Dern winning. I see Kat Zingano winning. I see Stefan Struve winning. Um, I see Brian Ortega winning. And I mean, in the back of my head, I know that there's a huge chance that Cyborg might win this fight, but I'm rooting for Yana Kunitskaya. I like Yana Kunitskaya. I like her demeanor. I like her attitude. She's not letting this phase her. Just kind of like Tanya Evans, just kind of like whatever. You put Cyborg in front of me, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to show you guys what I have, and we're looking at a potential fight of the night. Think about it. I mean, seriously, MMA fans, think about it. This could be fight of the night. Either that or Brian Ortega versus Frankie Edgar. I see it can either be that, it can be Brian Ortega versus Frankie Edgar, Cyborg Kunitskaya, or it may be Vieira Kat Zingano. Those three fights right there, one of those fights are going to be fight of the night. And more than I think the cat fight's going to end pretty quickly. First or second round ish. I see the Kat Zingano fight finishing, but if Cyborg wins, if Cyborg wins, I can see Cyborg winning by knockout in the third round. If Tanya Evans was able to go 3 rounds, if Marlos Kunin was able to go 4 rounds, and Holly Holm was able to go 5 rounds, I think Kunitskaya can at least go 3 rounds. She can maybe 2. If depending on which Cyborg we're getting. If we're getting, Beast Cyborg 2nd round. If we're getting Patient Cyborg 3rd round. Now, as far as Kunitskaya winning, I could see Kunitskaya winning via submission, probably 3rd or 4th round, or by head kick 2nd round. I said it. 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 Head kick 2nd round, Yana Kunitskaya. That's what I believe. And we know the ground is the weakness for Cyborg, and Yana knows that. Holly Holm knew that too. But Yana may not. But Holly knew that too, but Holly's just not comfortable on the ground. She's just not comfortable on the ground, so that's why she didn't. That's why. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you for agreeing with me, man. Finally, somebody agrees with me on my predictions. Jesus, I always get told I'm wrong on my predictions. But anyway, like I said, Holly's not going to go to the ground. Yana may go to the ground. I hope Yana goes to the ground. I don't really want to see Yana stand and trade with Cyborg because she can get clipped. If Yana gets clipped, then, like I said, I don't know how Yana reacts to being hit that hard. She's been hit, but she ain't been hit that hard. So I would like to see how she reacts to that. But like I said, if Yana can get this fight to the ground, then we have a totally different fight. This fighting standing up definitely would probably be a Cyborg win. But a fight on the ground with Yana Kunitskaya, I see Yana for the win. So I know I've said this a million times, guys, but that's just how I see it. and I think I'm probably the only person in the world right now that thinks that Kunitskaya could possibly beat Chris Cyborg. But you guys never know how these things may go. That's the beauty of MMA. When you step into that cage, it is a 50-50 chance of winning. You know, it may not be 50-50 on the betting odds, but in the world odds of MMA, it is a 50-50 chance when you step into that octagon. So it's going to be interesting, guys. I'm interested to see how this is going to go. We're going to go live after the next week and talk about the results of these fights. Next week just seems like like light years away. You know, because this fight is it's like it's taking this fight forever to happen. Like when I first hear about these fight matchups, I want to see the fight. Screw waiting around, screw embedded, screw inside the octagon, screw all of that shit. Fuck all of that. When they announce these fights, I want to see the damn fight. But embedded keeps us amped up for the fight. Countdown to the octagon or whatever they call it. That keeps us in tune with the fight. Inside the octagon with Dan Hardy. It definitely keeps us in the loop. So just getting us all prepared for the fights, guys. But UFC 222 pay-per-view. Yeah. But anyways, you guys come in and watch the fight. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think. First time doing a simulcast through Facebook Live. So if you guys want to do a recap of this video, it'll be here on our YouTube channel or it'll be on our Facebook channel and Facebook Sports Scrutiny Live. All right, bro. I support you. Stay encouraged. Thank you, Reggie, man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, man. But yeah, guys, this video is on our Facebook. You can go comment there. You can comment here after I upload the video. And thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. And, you know, like I said, Rob couldn't come in tonight. Oh, we got some huge changes coming up with Sports Scrutiny. We're going to start putting ourselves out there a little bit more. We're going to start bringing in some people to, you know, give us some outside thoughts on what we're talking about. Because when me and Rob try to squeeze, especially during football season, guys, you know, when we try to squeeze everything into one show, it gets a little long and it kind of drags a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to split it up. Okay. We're not going to rob the fans, the NFL fans and the MLB people that we have subscribed to our channel. We're not going to rob you guys of getting that full breakdown like you guys really want. So we're going to do this. We're going to have a segment where Rob and another person break down the NFL and the MLB matches that week. We're going to do that. And then me and Jeremy, you guys know Jeremy, a couple episodes back, we're going to break down the MMA fights coming up. And we're going to start covering Invicta. We're going to start covering, of course, UFC. And we might throw some Bellator in there, you know, so that our MMA fans get the full, we can fully get into these fights and fully break these fights down instead of trying to, you know, do this first half of this episode and then try to do it, you know, this on the second half of the episode. It gets kind of long. So we're going to do it like that. Those are going to be 30-minute segments, you know, and we're just going to, you know, 30 to 45-minute segments. We're just going to give you the breakdown, go over the card, give our predictions, and then we're out. And then once a week, me and Rob will be on together because, you know, me and Rob are Sports Scrutiny. We're going to be on together. We're going to talk about the results of what we talked about the previous week. Let you guys know what's coming up and, you know, just do what me and Rob do. So don't just stay with us, guys. The second phase of Sports Scrutiny is coming your way. We're trying to get this thing to take off, guys. So the only way we can get this thing to take off is with you guys watching. So we appreciate it. I'm out. And like I said, if you got anything to say, drop it in the comment section and let's talk about it. Appreciate it. And we are out.